Hello everyone, welcome back to the English class. In this session, we are discussing a very important tense called future perfect. This is the tense number 11. Yes, future perfect tense is a very important tense. However, this tense is not known to many people. That's the reason why many people do not use this tense either in communication or in written language. However, this is a very important tense in the whole tenses chapter. Not only that, in competitive exams also, this tense plays a crucial role. What exactly this is? So, future perfect tense. Like first I will explain the situation of the tense, that is the timing of the tense. Then we will learn the structure, followed by good number of examples. So, what is future perfect tense? I'll give you a very simple explanation. This tense is used for a future action. Of course, there is no doubt about it because the name itself denotes future. But why perfect is used? So, listen carefully. This tense is used to describe a future action, but you are actually mentioning the future completion. So, that's the whole point here. So, you are actually mentioning the future completion. It means you are not just saying that this action will take place in the future. You are also actually trying to say that this action will be completed in the future. That is why we also remember something like this: deadline. So future perfect tense talks about the future deadline of a particular action. To describe that, to define that, we use the preposition by. I know most of you watching this video are not very sure of what I have explained just now. Relax. I'll give you a good number of examples. I'm sure you will understand by then. Before we go to the examples, let's see the rule. The rule says when we talk about future perfect tense, the grammar is like this. Anyways, the subject is the beginning of the sentence followed by will have or shall have. What is the grammar? Will have or shall have. Followed by the verb in the third form, ends with the object. I'll repeat. The grammar goes like this. Subject plus will have or shall have, followed by the verb in the third form and ends with object. So, I'll give you one example. Then you will understand it. See the example. I shall have prepared the notes by tomorrow morning. If you see this expression, first of all, yes, the grammar is perfect. Shall have plus V3. Here prepared is V3. But if you understand the whole meaning of the sentence, it looks very interesting. The whole meaning is, I shall have prepared the notes by tomorrow morning. Here if you observe, you are mentioning not just tomorrow morning. You have mentioned by tomorrow morning. Here, this particular word by is a very important deciding word. Because when you say by tomorrow morning, you are actually giving a particular deadline to the action, which by where you say that in the future, by a particular point, that's a future deadline, the action will be completed. The action will be over. Means by tomorrow morning, the action is done. After that, there is no pending work. You understand? I will give you now good number of examples for your better understanding. Listen very carefully. Recently, my dear friends, listen carefully. Recently, I took some money from a friend of mine. I took some money from a friend of mine, okay? And now, he called me and asked me to return his money. And I said, my dear friend, just give me 2 more days. Just give me 2 more days. I will have, see the expression? I will have returned the money. See, I will have returned the money by Friday. Okay? If you see this expression, you are not only saying, You are not only saying that Friday is the day when I'll give you back the money, but you're actually saying by Friday, where the meaning goes after Friday, the money is yours, not mine anymore. So, in one way, when you say by Friday, it's like a kind of deadline. So, naturally, my friend would understand that Friday would be the maximum deadline and he would definitely get back his amount for sure. So, that is the beauty. We often use this actually, but we use this in simple future. Unfortunately, we use this particular kind of expression, but the tense that is being often used is simple future, which is not right. Because when you mention a particular deadline like by tomorrow, by Friday, by Saturday, by Sunday, and by Monday, you cannot use that particular expression in simple future. You must use future perfect because the tense and the grammar should match. Correct? I'll give you now one more example. I got into a train and I'm going to Mumbai. I'm going to Mumbai. I'm on the way. My mother called me and asked me, "Did you reach?" I said, "No, come on. I haven't reached yet." And my mom asked, "When will you reach?" And I said, "Mom, I will have." See the expression? Mom, I will have reached Mumbai. See, I will have reached Mumbai by 11 p.m. Now, when you say this expression, I will have reached Mumbai by 11 p.m., you are actually denoting the future deadline. Okay. When you say, I will have reached Mumbai by 11 p.m., means after 11 p.m., I will be no more traveling in the train. Already by 11 p.m., I will have got down from the train. I will have reached Mumbai. By 11 p.m., I will have already got into my house in Mumbai. You understand? So, this is a very interesting tense. Unfortunately, this tense is not known to many of the people, and that's the reason this may look strange for you. But not at all. This is a very important tense. I'll give you now one more example for you better understanding. My boss gave me some work, and after some time, he called me and asked me to submit the work to him because he's my boss. He wanted me to submit the work to him. And I said, "My dear boss, I'm very sorry. The work is still on the way." And I said, "My dear boss, don't worry, you relax. I will have," see the expression? See the expression? "I will have submitted the work." See, I will have submitted the project. I will have submitted the project by, I will have submitted the project by 4 p.m. I will have submitted the project by 4 p.m. You understand the difference here? I did not say at 4 p.m. I said by 4 p.m. because when I say at 4 p.m., it's just giving a piece of information about the time. Here, I'm not telling my boss that I will submit at 4 p.m. I'm telling my boss that by 4 p.m., which means 4 p.m. is the maximum deadline. After 4 p.m., the work is done and that will be in the hands of my boss. So when I mention a particular timing like by 4 p.m., the grammar is used like this. So this beautiful grammar is what we call future perfect. I hope the point is clear. So I will have submitted the project by 4 p.m. is a beautiful expression. I'm sure everybody understood it. One last example in this model, because you may be wondering why I'm starting all the examples with only the subject I. No, we can start the subject here. We can start the statements here with any subject. That doesn't really matter. For example, I'll give you now one more example. This time the example is with a third person, a man named Tom. And I said, Tom will have. See, I said, Tom will have, Tom will have given the, Tom will have given the money, Tom will have given the money by tonight. See, I want Tom to give money to someone. I called Tom and asked, Tom, did you give money? And Tom said, just give me some time. I'm traveling. However, by tonight, I will have given the money, which means when Tom says by tonight is the maximum deadline. So when I say by tonight, it is a deadline by which the work is over. So this is the beautiful expression called future perfect. Hope the point is very clear. So if you'll observe logically here, future perfect in one way is a very important tense and also a very interesting tense. The grammar we use is shall have or will have plus V3. Now, as usual, you know what am I going to do? I'm going to talk about the forms which are very important. See, for example, let me give you a positive example. Let me give you a positive example. I'm talking a girl named Sita. I'm talking about a girl named Sita, and I said, Sita will have, see, and I said, Sita will have, Sita will have. Because when the moment I use the expression, the moment I use the expression will have, that itself conveys that I am talking about the completion of a particular action in the future tense, which is very interesting. Hope you understand. So when I say Sita will have, that itself conveys 99% meaning of the sentence, because when I say Sita will have, I am actually indirectly giving a message that I am going to talk about the future deadline and the completion of an action. Okay? Now let's see the example. The example goes like this. There is a girl called Sita, and I say Sita will have eaten this. Sita will have eaten this by evening. So there is a girl named Sita, and she has actually some food to eat, but she hasn't eaten the food yet. And I asked her, why are you not eating the food? She said, I am busy. I'll eat definitely. Now, her mother said, don't worry, this girl is busy, but by evening for sure, she will have eaten this, which means by evening for sure, she will have completed the process. Sita will have eaten this by evening is a beautiful expression. Sometimes the same expression you can use it like negative sentence. However, converting a positive statement into negative is never a Herculean task. Will becomes won't, correct? Now I say Sita won't have eaten this by evening. Just you keep the positive into negative. Now, my dear friends, now when you want to ask a question, the question goes like this. Will Sita have, see, will Sita have eaten this food by evening? So when you start now with the question, it becomes naturally a question. So now we keep a question mark. But remember here, when you want to ask a question in this particular tense, you don't say will have Sita. After will, Sita comes, then follows the helping verb have. Now the same sentence, you can also make it into negative. It becomes like this. Won't Sita have eaten this? Won't Sita have eaten this? Won't Sita have eaten this? So this is the best part of the sentence. This is the beauty of the sentence. So future perfect is a beautiful tense that is used to talk about a particular action in the future, but you're not saying that the action will happen. You're also saying that the action will be completed. To denote the time, we usually use the preposition by, which means you're actually giving a future deadline. Now, very often, we also ask questions. In this model, we also ask questions. Like I have said, mostly we use positive questions in this model as well. Mostly we use positive questions in this model as well. The positive questions go like this. See, for example, I gave my friend an assignment and I wanted him to finish it quickly. That fellow is a lazy fellow, so he hasn't even started the work yet. The time left is very short. And I called him and I asked, "What's up? We have no much time. What are you planning to do?" And he said, "Arre bhaiya, relax. I will have completed it in, I will have completed the work by tonight." And I'm surprised. When I called him, the time is just 7 p.m. and he says tonight he will complete it. So I'm surprised naturally, and I asked him a question like this: will you have completed it? Will you have completed it by 10 p.m.? Which means I'm surprised. So I'm asking him a question: will you have completed the work by 10 p.m.? My friends, sometimes for this question, we also add WH verbs. We also add WH verbs. A question comes like this. See, a question comes like this. How will he have? It's a question that starts with WH verb. How will he have? How will he have managed? How will he have managed to? How will he have managed to reach by 11 p.m.? There is a huge traffic jam and naturally he cannot reach by 11 p.m. Normally it will take extra hour. It will take definitely one more hour. But he is very confident. He says, "Don't worry, despite the traffic jam, 11 p.m. is the maximum time I will reach." Which means now he has given as a deadline, which means future perfect is a tense he used. Now I am surprised and I said, "Arey bhaiya, how is that even possible? It's not possible for a human being. You can't fly like a bird. How can you reach by 11 p.m.?" The meaning now is used in future perfect. How will he have managed to reach by 11 p.m.? I still can't understand. The time is very short. Okay? So this is the beautiful tense called future perfect. A very, very, very important tense and a very interesting tense also. Before I end the video, just I'll recap in a very precise way. Future perfect tense is used to talk about a future completion of a particular action. You are not just saying that the action will take place in the future. You are actually saying that in the future, by a particular time, the action will be completed also. That's the beauty. Okay? I hope everybody understood it. Also, the structure is important. Subject plus will have or shall have plus V3 plus object. Okay? For your better understanding, I have tried my level best to give you ample number of examples. Keep practicing. I'm sure you will understand it. I believe everybody understood future perfect tense. Wish you all the best and good luck.